I'm going to come back over and educate you on some house rules in a second, because I think we've got a lot of new faces in the house tonight. there's one more for the older in the crowd. You probably know exactly what I'm trying to do with this. There's a clip of Freddie Mercury, and so I want you to echo me when I say, Rebels! There we go, we'll try again. Rebels! Cool, we've got no chance for Durham, and we're not going to make any because this is our house. Now we're going to run through a couple of volleyball specifics. I will be trying to...
Good afternoon and welcome to the Essex Sport Arena for the first Super League Live of the season. We've got a double-header between two powerhouse universities, the Essex Rebels, the Durham Palatinates, and we're about 12 minutes away from opening serve. Both these teams have been fighting for a long time, and now the rivalry is renewed here at the Essex Sport Arena. We will start today with the MAAREE Women's Super League as the undefeated Essex Rebels 2-0 will take on Durham, who won their opening game against Richmond in the season opener in a reverse sweep style. Next up, after that, we'll have the men's dynamic Super League game between the Essex and Durham men's teams. Essex having fallen last week in straight sets to London Giants, whereas Durham have had 4 weeks to wait, having beaten Richmond again in reverse sweep on opening weekend. We're expecting a capacity crowd here at Essex, about 800 people potentially coming in to set a UK volleyball record. We'll be live in a couple of minutes upstairs and we'll get you ready for the first Super League Live of the season.
Really good. I know it's a little bit cringe, but I'm out here making a fool of myself, so you guys can do it too. I'm really going to embarrass myself all of today, so no one needs to feel any embarrassment because all eyes are on me, okay? And the last one is Here Comes the Boom, which is a super spike. And it goes like, I'll let Nate play it, but you just pop your fist. Ooh, here comes the 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 ooh. You just pump your fist for the boots. Thank you so much. That's me for now. I think we've got our T-10 until we start. I will be bothering you all game long and asking for your energy. I'm only one man. I will do my best.
I'll just sorry, let's just come up.
Well, I currently have no stream deck working, so...
Cool, I'm ready to go.
Bit of a delay.
So, welcome back to the Essex Sport Arena. We're about 8 minutes away from first serve. A little bit of a travel delay for the referee, so slightly shorter pre-game, but Michael Hansen-Morris delighted to be joined in the commentary booth this one by the Essex Rebels men's player, Hassan. Hassan, welcome to the comms team.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited for today's game. And yeah, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, and obviously, it talked about it briefly downstairs. This is not quite a rivalry yet, but it's growing with obviously both teams strongly using the university system. On the women's side, these two teams are matched up in back-to-back Bucks finals. So this is a rivalry that is not quite there yet, but it's growing into one.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Durham has always been a very big game for both men's and women's Rebels throughout the years, really. So we're excited to see how much this develops this year as well.
Indeed, and as I said, both teams yet to taste. Yeah. Good afternoon and welcome to the Essex Sport Arena. We're a few minutes away from opening serve here between the Essex Rebels and the Durham Palatinates in the MAAREE Women's Snooker League. Apologies, had a bit of technical issues as Head of Sport Dave Parry's just come to check on us in the commentary box. Mike Huntermeyer, delighted to be joined for this game by Essex Rebels men's outside Hassan Farhat. Hassan, welcome to the commentary booth. Welcome to the commentary booth.
Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you for having me, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here. First time ever, to be fair. We're excited for today's game. It's always good to watch Durham and the Essex Rebels. It's always a big game between these two universities, and yeah, let's just see how it goes.
Yeah, a bit of a building rivalry, I think it's probably the best way to put it, between these two sides. But we haven't got long till first service, Hassan, so...
Yeah, I can't hear myself or hear you.
Worst case, go with one just while we're everything.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Essex Sport. Oh, okay. Sorry, we're just waiting for a second. So, Hassan, we're going to start with...
I can't hear.
We're going to start having a look on the Essex Rebels side, and a big one to watch is the hard-hitting outside for the Rebels. Elena Dupre didn't have the best game against Dartstar last week, but she's such an impact on this team and be a complete game changer for Alex Chinuri.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Watching last week's game, yeah, it's true that we didn't exactly have the best game out there, but being on the team, I mean, I've seen every other game, and she has such a great impact on the team. Very strong outside hitter, and she'll be a vital key factor in the game today.
Yeah, indeed, as we're a couple of minutes away from introductions. In fact, we're going to introduce Essex, but we'll talk about their captain on the other side, the Durham Palatinates, and that is Alyssa Ruffin. Another outside, Hassan, a little bit undersized, but she's got such a big arm. She's really powerful for her size, but her leadership come through a military academy in the Citadel College. So how important is that leadership for Durham on court this year with such a new group?
Well, I mean, absolutely. Considering how important this game is, especially that they have lost to the Essex Rebels last year in Bucks final, and right now they're looking to make a statement. The very first game of the season with the Essex Rebels. Having a strong leader on the court is very important, in my opinion. It just kind of keeps the team together, keeps the energy up, and it will be a major factor in deciding how this game goes.
Yeah, you can see Alyssa Ruffin the first one out, and the rest of the Durham starting 7. Number 1, down the middle, Niara Hightower. Number 5, Chloe Thomas. Number 7, Malaya Stanton gets a start. Talking to Paul Welsh in the build-up, he wasn't quite sure which direction he would go. Malaya missed opening weekend of Durham team's first game, and then she'll be feeding the ball to number 10, Izzy Decker on the outside. Number 19, number 22, Ellie Schrader, and the starting libero for the Durham Palatinates, Jenna Giombi, number 23, as the Essex Rebels going to get a warm welcome to the court. The bench players coming out in what's going to be a big atmosphere, so it's already filling out nicely in front of us for this game.
Yeah, it's it's a big game for 2 reasons. We are trying to obviously make a statement against Durham and in the Super League, but we're also trying to break the record for the attendance record for a volleyball game in the UK. Pretty sure it's currently standing at 506.
Yep.
So if we're able to get 507, I mean, that'd be pretty good. Based on what I've heard, we have sold around 700 tickets. So it's looking pretty nice and pretty rowdy in here, yeah?
As the Rebels starting 7 now onto the court, they'll be led out by their captain and setter McKenna Smith. She's had a great start to the Super League. Number 6, Tara King, the British start on this team. We're going to talk about Tara as the broadcast goes on. Number 10, Leia Borovec. Number 13 down the middle, Savannah Spitzer, who'll be joining me later for your game, Hassan, up here in the commentary booth. Number 14, Elena Dupre, who McKenna and Elena's parents both in attendance today as well. So I'm sure that'll help them. Number 22, Hayley Gillivan, the former Durham Palatinate player, going against her old team, and the starting libero, number 27, Taya Shamblin, and that is your Essex Rebels starting 7. But just before we start, we want to talk about Tara King. We didn't have time in the pre-game, but Tara obviously had to sit behind Alexis Diaz and Fonte last year.
Absolutely.
And kind of biding her time through this system, but it now has really broken through. 2nd in the team in kills, hitting nearly 250 on the season from the opposite. How big a benefit is that and testament to the development of this Rebels program?
Well, considering how much pressure someone's got kind of coming into the starting lineup, it's a lot of pressure, lots of work, and the fact that she's doing well, she's the 2nd best hitter, as you just said, is it's a very good sign of where this program's heading.
Indeed, and those of you that may be a little bit eagle-eyed, we do have some big injury news. Well, number 1, no Kath Tolley for Essex. Yes. But the even bigger one is you can see on the sideline, and he'll be wearing it all day, Alex Chinnery's managed to injure himself and end up in a boot. So
that did happen. I do know the story for that. I don't know if you'll like me saying it though.
I'll let you off, but he said he's still going to stand, but he also did admit it was hurting quite significantly, and he's taken some pain-killing relief, we'll go with.
Oh, I did see him taking that painkiller. Let's just hope it helps him out, and the game is going to be very exciting in there.
Indeed, as we're about to get ready, spare ball's going out to the team, and we're about ready to go. MAAREE Women's Super League here at the Essex Sport Arena, Super League Live, and it'll be Leia Borovec to get us underway, and she misses on the sideline. First point to Durham Palatinates and Paul Welsh's team, having made the long trip down last night from the northeast.
Yeah.
Durham, despite not playing in the Super League for a month, are in rhythm for Bucks games, a National Cup game, as well as Dupre gets blocked on her first swing, recycled though, and Gillifan from the right side can't find the floor. Good early defense by the Palatinates. Dupre, second timer asking, finds the gap, and the Rebels get themselves on the board, but initially good block coverage by Durham. That'll be pleasing to make Essex work for it.
Yes, absolutely. I think today's game is going to be a very difficult one for the Essex Rebels, considering just how tall the Durham players are. I mean, the block's going to be over there every single time, and it's just going to be very tough to score a point.
As Ruffin goes with the tip, recycled. Giombi gets a good touch to keep the rally going. And Spitzer calls for the slide. Referee's happy to let it go. Again, Durham making the Rebels work. This time Dupre, big block touch by Thomas and Schrader. That ball rolling off the net tape. Rebels wanting the point but not getting it. as Dupre finds the hand of Chloe Thomas and wins the point. First break point for the Rebels. But again, the long rally starting to portray. That's going to be a big factor, Sam. Teams are able to just stay with it.
Absolutely. Both teams are very disciplined in defence, so, and they will not let that ball touch the floor at all. And
I think you've got a fan club.
I do
That's
have
what
a
we'll
fan
go
club
with.
in the chat there.
Keep your thoughts and comments coming, and let us know where you're watching from as well. As Ruffin goes cross court but just misses the sideline, and it's a 3-1 lead to the Rebels. Savannah Spitzer heads onto court for the first time, and Hayley Gillifan back to the service line. As Durham struggle on that serve receive. Advantage Rebels in the point. Dupre goes to the little 4-metre roll shot into the heart of the Durham defence. And Dupre changing it up and finding success. And Paul Welsh going to call an early timeout for Durham.
Yeah.
But again, it comes just around initial serve receive. The ball not quite being in system for Durham, and effectively a free ball for the Rebels. And Hassan, they're so clinical, the Rebels, when they get advantage in rallies.
Absolutely, we do work a lot on our free balls, just to kind of, every time we get a free ball, it's just a chance for us to put it away and get a point.
And you can see there both coaches talking over. Obviously you'd expect, you can see just Paul Welsh is coming out of that timeout, just talking with Chloe Thomas about potentially hand placement and what they're trying to do on a block. So maybe it's something that they didn't quite follow based on scout early on. It's sometimes good for coaches just you're trying to restore so much information athletes, just sometimes remind them of a key point that they've clearly forgotten.
Absolutely, especially in a big game like this where you kind of can forget sometimes what the initial plan is and you just kind of go with your intuition. But great job from the coaches just to remind the players what we're actually here to do.
It's perfect response out of the timeout by the Palatinates. The ball coming out to this left pin for Ruffin. She makes no mistake going in that 6-1 gap over the top of the block. As Ellie Schrader back to the service line. That'll bring Niara Hightower in at the net in the middle position as Dupre takes hands again. Ruffin has to play it second touch out of system ball. Smith back set for the slide, and that one just misses the end line.
Very close.
And back-to-back points out of timeout for Durham. As Schrader goes with the top spin, that's going to be an overpass. Great pickup by Shamlin. She's under the net. And Ruffin puts it into the net.
Point for the Rebels.
And that's the frustrating one. You can hear it in your voice. It's a free ball with great pickup by Shamblin. But that's really one you want to be clinical. And the set was 2 meters out, and it's not the easiest position for the Durham captain to put a swing on it. So McKenna Smith, the Rebels set up back. That's tight. And I think they're going to say over by Spitz, and I think that's right. We're way above the net. It looked like she did play that on the wrong side, taking it away from Stanton.
There was a little bit of a crossover there.
So that will send Chloe Thomas, wearing number 5 for Durham, back to the service line. And she floats one over the top. And a 3-1 for the Rebels, but Chloe Thomas featured her in the opening game of the season. Had 3 service errors in that, but hit 327 in the Palatinates come from behind victory. And Dupre, big serve, well handled by Izzy Decker. Ruffin goes into the block of Tara King. And again, Durham not quite executing on the set. That one a little bit too low. Ruffin couldn't quite elevate to put it on, and that makes it a lot easier for the block. And Dupre again trying to line up another big topspin serve. This time, another great pass. Decker gets it back through the pipe, and that one onto the sideline. Great opening swing by Isabel Decker.
Yep.
Decker, longly pursued by head coach Paul Welsh, been having conversations for a couple of years during the end of her college career as Dupre puts a wide one out. Tara King has to pass it over. Stanton has to play it though. So out of system again, Giombi with the bump set. And Decker goes 2 for 2, attacks the seam wide of Tara King's block. And Durham trying to find a way to get themselves tied in this game, now trailing just by 1, 7 plays 6. As Shamblin pulling McKenna Smith out of court. Borek still going to put a decent swing on it. Slide for Hightower, perfectly executed.
Very nice, very, very nice play from the Durham University over there. Yeah, no, it's just a great ball, honestly. There's not much to say there, just very disciplined, and the block just couldn't catch up.
As Dupre, McKenna Smith able to get to that one.
And a great point.
Layer on the cross court.
Huge reply from the Essex Rebels there.
And they go back into the lead. We're expecting both games today to be close. These two teams battle it out so often in the university competition. We saw a couple of tight moments last year when we were here on Super League Live as Decker gets hands, but a net touch by Tara King kind of come off the net, having got that block touch. And an easy call for the referee as both teams try and find some rhythm. But I know Paul Welsh will be delighted with this, because when the quarterback win the week, he said the one thing he's kind of seen this side struggle with is opening up games and having slow starts. It's something they have been working on, as King goes power tip and beats Decker. But he wanted to be in the set through the first 20 points, and even no matter what happens here with San, they're going to be right in this set.
Yeah, I agree with you with what he said. We do find some difficulties opening up the game sometimes. The first set is always the hardest one, but if we do win that set, then it just becomes very difficult for the other team to come back, normally at least.
So Dupre on the pipe, pushes it wide and long, but Essex trying to mix up where the ball's going early, and we know McKenna Smith and Elena Dupre have a good chemistry with each other. As Malaya Stanton back to serve. It's another slide, and Ruffin a little bit slow moving to her left. You could see a little hop in frustration. You've been in that back row in sixes, and when you know your feet are just a little bit slow moving, it's so frustrating.
Especially when the ball's coming straight at you, you just can't really open up to get that ball. Just very frustrating. I've been there and done that. It's very, very bad.
As Thomas puts a big swing from the left side, normally on the oboe, but on the rotation, choosing to stay on that left pin, and she buries the cross court. And we are through 20 points and tied at 10 apiece here on Super League Live from the Essex Sport Arena. As Dupre perfectly on the net, and a little miscommunication between King and Gillivan. They leave it to each other, and the Durham have their first lead in the middle part of this set. And that'll send Izzy Decker back to serve. Dupre, again, not the best serve received, but great bump set by Shamblin. And Dupre on the cross court beats Giombi. That's a lovely, tough swing to Sam. We'll see that again on the replay. It was well lined up the block, but it all comes from the bump set by Shamblin.
Absolutely, yes. We do. The Rebels do a lot of work on the out-of-system setting and hitting, just for this moment, exactly for this moment, and for this scenario when you just can't really get an in-system set and put all of the power behind the ball. You just have to kind of put it in a tough spot for the other team.
And Savannah Spitzer puts that one in a tough spot. Stanton got a hand, I think it's Decker in the back row, got a hand to it, but couldn't quite put enough on it for a teammate to recover. As it was Hayley Gillivan with the initial dig. That one off the top of the net tape lands on the 3-meter line, and back-to-back points for the Rebels.
Just as you said before, these small little points are very, very frustrating for the other team, especially when they happen against you. But let's just see how Durham reacts to that and just comes back from that.
Yeah, it's sometimes you can't do a lot about it. That one deep in the court. Well played by Decker. Thomas from the right side. Borek with the one-handed stab. McKenna Smith front court, so legally plays it over. Rough-in power swing dug by Borek. Smith goes over on 2. Finds the 3.5 meter line. Her hands fly up in celebration. And McKenna Smith showing early on this season. That's kill number 6 for her in just the 3rd game. And she moves on to a 500 hitting percentage on the season. There's another serve. Decker this time off one knee. Thomas into the block, recycled by Durham, but Giambi can't pick up on the second touch. That one into the scorer's table. And Paul Welsh going to use this second timeout. 4 in a row for the Rebels. And the Essex Sport Arena just starting to pick up the energy. And it all coming from the serve of Hayley Gillifan. And Hassan, Hayley's got a very interesting and unique serve. She stands so far behind the service line. You don't even practice that very often, how deep she serves. So that ball has a bit more time to move, and it can be really deceptive as a receive unit. Absolutely,
yes. It's just standing very far back. The float just kind of the ball plays around a little bit as it's travelling towards you, and as a passing unit, you don't really know if it's going to go all the way to the back or it's going to drop straight in front of you. So it can be a very difficult serve to deal with. It's actually a very good idea for the Durham coach to take a little time out there just to, first of all, regroup and then just kind of maybe cut the momentum off of the serve.
So another serve, this time the good old coach's point. That one well beyond the baseline. We were joking in our at the end of the Super League podcast, timeout podcast on Tuesday when we were off air. We were talking about, is there a way to track coaches' points this year? Because it would be a fun stat across both Super Leagues to see the impact of the timeouts and serving errors as Borek plays that one to Smith. Spitzer again, calling for the slide. This one turned away. That's going to be tight set. In fact, overset. And Leah Borek can't get there. I think it was Chloe Thomas, but maybe Niara Hightower combining there for the block. And a couple of big ones for Durham. They've done a really good job of standing in this opening set. Every time they've faced an adversity, they've responded out of the timeout.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. It just shows like there's some great leadership over there on the Durham bench. He's able to regroup his team and just kind of regain the focus. And there's also the players. Ooh.
As Ruffin, absolute power swing on the cross court in between the back row defense, and that's the power we talked about. Made it the one to watch for the game.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And if the Rebels aren't able to put up a block on that or just get maybe a little bit of a touch, slow it down, make it easier for the defense to pick it up, it's going to be a big problem for them.
Borek, Shamblin, again off the court. This time a less aggressive bump set, but Tara King pushes the Palatinates back, and Robin this time is blocked. McKenna Smith is the one celebrating, and a big response, almost like she heard you, Hassan, and we'll see that one again on the replay.
Great line-up on that block.
As this time it's Stanton pulled out to 4 meters. Ruffin goes again, finds the hands of Shamblin. Tara King not had many swings, and that one misses the baseline. Tara King's not really seen a lot of the ball early on for the Rebels, just her 3rd swing of the day. And the double sub coming for Paul Welsh and Durham. So into the game, weighing number 8, Raylene Jones, who didn't play on opening weekend. And then Elena Bullimer, the setter, coming in. So Durham trying to keep setter in the back row, Hassan. We'll talk about that more and the impact of that after this point. But Bullimer straight to the service line. Did have one ace on opening weekend. As Durham try and find the middle. That one called in by the line judge, out by the referee. Referee overall.
I guess, yeah. No comment on that.
Tied at 16 points apiece. But Sam, as a common tactic we see, trying to keep setter back row, and it just allows that 3rd hitting option in the front. And that's why we see that double sub.
Yes, you would see that double sub just to kind of you want to have more options for the attack. Just want to gain as many points as possible, especially with such a close game. You really don't want to. You really can't afford to have only two hitters in the front court.
Yeah, a lot more front court ball in the women's game, but we are starting to see more and more back row attacks come in as roughing goes a line. I think they're going to call a net touch. I think Savannah Spitzer just caught one, but that was a great dig.
That was a great
on
dig,
the
yes.
cross court. But all for nothing, and Durham.
It is very frustrating when that happens. Get a very nice dig just for it to end up being a net touch.
As Dupre, Smith on the back set, that's tight. Tara King squeezes it past the right hand of Izzy Decker. She got a touch on it, but that ball, Isabel Decker going away, and Niara Hightower couldn't quite make the recycle. Paul Welsh frustrated with that one. It felt like that was maybe an opportunity for his side to take the lead, but they'll have to wait a couple more points for that as Decker into the block. And Raylene Jones can't make the pick up, and another 2 in a row for the Rebels. This game just having runs both ways, and the Essex crowd like that one. As off the top of the net, and that's onto the 3-meter line. Again, almost like the net serve, that one we had for the Rebels earlier. Net swing over the hands of the blockers and falling short of that back row defense.
It's a very frustrating point. But let's just see if the Rebels are able to keep their heads on.
And it'll be Niara Hightower back to serve. Along, Dupre puts it up in the air. Borovec into the block, but no touch by the Rebels. So block out point for Leah Borovec. And it's a 2-point Rebels lead as we get to the business end of set number 1 here at the Essex Sport Arena. The Rebels first into the magic 20s. As Tara King goes a line.
Great serve.
Great reception as well. Great touch, Shamblin. Borovec going over and the back and puts that one a little bit too low. And the double sub going to be reversed with Elena Bullimer due to be going into the front row. So Malaya Stanton and Chloe Thomas back in.
Just keeping that Sarah in the backcourt, I'm assuming.
And it is Malaya Stanton. As Borovec pushes the ball wide of the sideline, went with a little power tip into that back corner, but just misses the sideline. And 20 plays 20 here. Set number 1. As McKenna Smith finding Ailey Gilliland on the slide, and the Rebels are living with that slide right now, Hassan, and it's really up to Durham blocking to make maybe a little bit of adjustment to try and counteract what they are trying, because it's about the 5th or 6th slide we've seen in this opening set.
It's a very difficult set to kind of deal with as a blocker. This is just very fast and just going all the way across, and you don't really know if it's going to be an opposite or the middle hitting that.
As that was a terrific reach. I'm not quite sure who got the second touch to keep that on the Durham side, but that was right over the net. We had a great view from here. I don't think either of us thought initially that was over. That was just about playable. Alex Chinnery wanted it, but referee right over the top of the net. And we are tied at 21 apiece. So I'm not quite sure who got that for Durham, but terrific piece of setting for the quick ball as Haley goes power tip. This time Rebels going through the middle, and Alex Chinnery going to call timeout. 22-21, and we know Alex loves a bit of passion. He couldn't quite get the referee's attention and made sure to walk in that walking boot all the way over to make sure he could get the attention.
Yeah.
And Durham have a lead late in this set, and this will be a huge set for Durham, because apart from that 1 point, I think it was 11-10, they got back into lead.
Yes.
This has been a set that Essex Rebels have led wall to wall so far.
And they were always ahead by at least 2 to 3 points. but losing the lead now at the very end of the set can be quite detrimental for the Rebels. Now they are under pressure instead of being the ones applying pressure.
And it is a massive weekend in the Super League. 11 games this weekend. We'll bring you scores from around the league when we get them, but we're going to focus on this set as Dupre is aced from the service line by Isabel Decker, and the Durham Palatinates are 2 points away. And we can hear Niara Hightower getting the Durham bench involved. Can the Rebels respond? Gillifan blocked.
Great cover by the
with
Rebels.
The pick up, but advantage Durham. Ruffin into the block. Recycled, standing right on it. Back set for Thomas. Borovec off the shoulder. I think that's going to be tight into the antenna. And 3 set points for Durham, and it's all falling apart for the Rebels. And it'll be the Davidson graduate with a chance to clinch it from the serve line. She'll attack Dupre. Smith back set on the slide. Little tip. Giombi gets up off the floor to play it. Ruffin off the net, and that one not quite dropping in time. And 1 set point saved. And it'll be the former Durham middle back on the service line. She had that service run from 11-all to 15-11. Can she find 2 points in a row when her team need it the most? That one definitely in. Perfect pass though. Ruffin gets it back. Smith with the hand. Dupre able to keep it alive. Ruffin, power tip. Spitzer with the pickup, but not good enough. And the Durham Palatinates take set number 1 here at the Essex Sport Arena. 22-25. And that's a huge set for Durham to come on the road and just try and quieten this crowd down.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with you. The Durham are... me keep going? Durham coming back from this first set where they were just kind of losing by 2 points for almost the entire set really, is just going to give them a huge boost, and they have the momentum right now. It's down to the Essex Rebels to kind of regain that momentum, regain that focus, and just come back into this game.
Indeed, and we'll just wait for the stats to update. I think the story of that was the Essex offense. Durham did a really good job early in the set, finding digs, making the Rebels take 2 or 3 swings to win points, and that ended up late in the set translating to errors for the Rebels. That was probably close to double-digit hitting errors for Essex in that opening set.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's mostly the errors at the very end of the set that have the biggest effect on the momentum you have as a team. As obviously you saw that there was a couple errors there from Leia Borovic, and that kind of caused a little bit of it just all went downhill from there on.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of a end of set limbo competition as our MC in the house, AJ, most of you know him from the beach volleyball world, getting our crowd going. We've got some very impressive attempts here, Hassan.
Yeah.
Albeit, and some less impressive set attempts, but only because they're so small to the ground, they don't even have to duck yet.
Yeah, you can't really do much about that
as
one.
we have our first faller on the limbo, as you can see that at home. Some interesting techniques going on.
Oh, that one's wrong.
That one, yeah, another shoulder touch as well, as we've got a few more to get through at the end of this set. As the set score has just indeed come in, and for Essex, 8 hitting errors indeed in the end for the Rebels in that opening set, just 3 to Durham. Ironically, all 3 made by Alicia Ruffin, but she's seen so much ball. It's an 18 swings in set number 1 for the Durham captain. So 3 errors at that level of swings is something you'll live with as a coach all day long.
Yeah, you would love to have that many. And from just this point of view, let's just see if the Rebels are going to kind of recognise how important it is to just kind of put up a block on that one person. Just recognise that she is the one getting most of the sets.
So leading scorer in the game is Elena Dupre with 5 points, 4 for Hayley Gillifan, and 4 each on the Rebel side for Alicia Ruffin and Izzy Decker. As both teams getting ready, I think Paul Welsh may have written the wrong number, or Ross Enfield may have written the wrong number on the scorecard, because Ruffin was not originally allowed to check in. I think from up here that they put number 19 on. Elena Bullimer, the setter. So I'm hoping that's a simple mistake of they put the wrong number and they've not put the wrong rotation. Because if we've got a wrong rotation, we're in a world of potential trouble. But Paul Welsh and Ross Enfield look relaxed. So I think it was just a simple case of wrong number. Malaya Stanton is on the service line. Yep. So that is the set that started set number 1. So I think Durham may have got away with that one.
Just barely. I mean, you don't really want to make a mistake at this point in the game, or this game in general.
Well, the famous one over the summer as Dupre gets aced by Malaya Stanton to start set number 2 was Italy in the World Final this year, where they got the second outside and set the wrong way round, and it caused mass chaos. Trying to keep your best 2 players on the court as Dupre responds with a perfect pass this time, but Smith is denied, and Olivia Ruffin goes from the pipe and nails it down the middle. And Hassan, that is one we definitely want to see again. That is a huge swing, and Alex Chinnery immediately burns a timeout. 0-2 Durham lead.
You can see that they've had a chat over there on the Durham side, considering just how easily that setter dump was picked up by the libero and then just straight away put away by the pipe attack there. The Essex Rebels might want to change up their tactics if they really want to get this game.
Yeah, it's a big challenge at home. Having a big crowd in a way, Hassan, is a great thing, but it can also provide a little bit of an extra added pressure when your back's against the wall. You don't want to let a potentially record crowd down.
Absolutely, yeah, and especially with the promotion that we've been going for the last month and a half around, yeah. We're just really trying to get as many people as in here as possible.
As McKenna Smith tight on the set, and Chloe Thomas and Ellie Schrader combine for being a little bit impatient. That was so tempting, but one of them just reached over and made contact with the ball and gives the Rebels a 3-1. Both benches trying to support their side as Stanton. Decker goes power tip, looking for hand, but doesn't find the left of Dupre. And the Rebels get us back tied up at 2 points apiece.
I think the most important thing for the Rebels right now is just to keep the focus on, keep the pressure on, go 100% for the entire set, and minimize the mistakes or the errors.
As Chloe Thomas finds the cross-court angle. Chloe Thomas hasn't seen a lot of the ball for Durham early on, but when she has, she's been super effective. And Durham back into the lead. 3-2 early on as Borek forces the overpass. Giombi calls for it nice and early. So hitting options for Durham, and Ellie Schrader connects on the middle attack. Wasn't the cleanest contact, but nonetheless the placement of it was good enough.
And you can just see kind of there's a difference in how they're playing right now between the first set and the second set. Durham in the first set was under pressure most of the time, and they had their back against the wall. Right now they're just very comfortable going straight into the game, and at the moment it's actually the Rebels on the back foot.
Indeed, and another huge put away for Durham. This Essex serve receive unit really on the back foot right now, as it was Ruffin with the killers. Dupre tries to go tip, she finds the net tape, and it's a 4-point lead for Durham, having stolen that set number 1. And Alex Chinnery looking down at the bench. Potential sub, I think, maybe on his mind, as Smith has to bump set. Dupre misses the sideline.
Slight miscontact on the ball there. You can just kind of hear it going off the fingers instead of just getting that palm
So Smith trying to go back to Dupre, blocked. That one going to land in, so she has to play it again. This time Dupre catches the net on the swing, and Alex Chinnery going to go to the bench. Elena Dupre going to take a break, and into the game wearing 7 for the Rebels, Leela Whitaker. Whitaker burst onto the stage last year here when we were back at Super League Live in the MAAREE game. She made a big impact off the bench. She also replaced Dupre in the 3rd set last week in Derby as Thomas wins the joust. And it's a 9-2 lead. But Leela Whitaker, another youngster, Hassan, obviously, but someone with a huge vertical, huge athlete as well. She's got a big arm, so a good replacement. But first serve reception is an overpass. Schrader tips it. McKenna Smith has to play it. It's out of system as Whitaker puts a good swing onto it. Decker from the pipe just about stays behind that green 3-meter line. Savannah Spitzer on the slide. Rebels can't find the floor as Giombi with a great cover. But now the Rebels have a chance. Another slide. Spitzer finds Stanton. Borovec right-hand stab, and it's a free ball. Durham, Stanton, back set, Ruffin finds the hand, and Durham win a long rally, and it's 10-2, but really well fought by Durham, staying in it and working the Rebels into an angle.
Just great discipline from Durham there on the defense, just going after it every single time. And not doing too much, just doing what they know they can do and relying on the Rebels to make a mistake.
As Leela Whitaker shut down by combination of Schrader and Chloe Thomas, and that sub is immediately reversed. Surprised Alex Chinnery hasn't called timeout here.
It is quite a surprise, honestly. You don't want to let this lead build up too much.
The Rebels get on the boards, but the damage may be already done for this set. It's 11-3 to lead, and a huge service run. And McKenna Smith will try and respond from the service line. Great pass, so Ruffin, power tip. And Durham, first side-out opportunity in a long time. As clean as you want.
Yeah. There's a great variety of attacking options there on the Durham team. You've got the very strong hitters, you've got the very smart hitters, then you've got just very quick hitters.
As McKenna Smith being called over for a word.
Wonder what happened there.
I mean, I don't know. It's a great job by our camera team to get that conversation. We'll see if McKenna Smith goes over. She goes and talks to Alex Chinnery. So I don't know if Chinners, as we know him, may have got a warning somehow, or if he wanted clarification on something. McKenna Smith nearly left early on the serve, and it probably helped as she just about got there to tip that over, but Durham again in control. Hightower, who's had to wait a long time to get onto court in this set, can't find the kill. But Durham go to the pipe with Decker. McKenna Smith again having to play that in the back row. Dupre doesn't get a touch. Didn't even look for a touch. And another Rebels mistake, and Alex Chinnery is going to take a seat and talk it over with the coaching team of Ben Murray and Josh Holdsworth, trying to figure out what he wants to see from his Rebel side that really fallen to pieces early on in this Super League Live, and it's a huge credit to the pressure of Durham as Tara King can only tip that one over again. The connections just don't seem there, but they are on the Durham side. Another huge swing by Ruffin.
Just a great attack into that corner. It's a very hard ball to defend, that one. It's very disciplined, just going all the way over there where there's no defender, or if there is a defender, it'll be very difficult for them to get. And an ace serve. Very good serve.
all-out steam train that is the Durham Palatinates in set number 2. Not slowing down as the ace
From Ellie Schreider.
Oregon State graduate, has the lead at 12, and that one narrowly misses the baseline. You can see the Rebels coaching staff still talking Caftoli, obviously hurt, not going to play today, part of the staff, and I think Alex Chinnu just working out what they want to see. Do you go to the bench and rest the starters, because the reverse sweep looking like the only way possible for the Rebels right now, but that's going to be hard the way this Durham team are playing, as Borek dug up by Ruffin. Thomas gets a hand, and Dupre able to play it. Durham go, Essex go quick middle, and Savannah Spitz finds the floor, and a big one for the Rebels, and the crowd still engaged here at the Essex Sport Arena.
Yeah, just great job from the Rebels, kind of just keeping their heads on, staying calm, staying focused, and just going after that point, slowly, point after point, just trying to close that gap.
As overpass, killed off, back-to-back for Spitz, as she's known here in Essex. The Essex bench starting to find some energy, but it's a long way back still, 9 down.
Yeah, absolutely, but these small little points where you can get the energy back, just everyone riled up, that just helps you a lot with gaining the momentum.
As Ruffin is aced by Dupre, and you wonder full well she's going to think about a timeout just to settle the momentum down. But maybe with a lead, it's also one of those moments as a coach you can let the game go a little bit. You've got such a lead that one extra point isn't really going to hurt if it doesn't go your way, and it gives you a chance for your team to figure it out on the floor, because not always you're going to have a timeout to burn. As Ruffin goes off the block, Smith with a big stab. Dupre probably would have been a double touch last year, not anymore, as Hightower misconnects down the middle.
And it seems like the coach is going for a timeout now, and yep, he is. Yeah, you really want to just try and cut off the momentum right now before it gets too much and that gap is just too close, especially if you want to keep a 3-0 win.
Indeed, and obviously important, those of you that may be new to the Super League, 3-0 or 3-1 win gets you 3 points in the league table.
Yep, that's correct.
A 3-0, 3-1 loss gets you a big fat goose egg 0. But if it goes to 5, both teams walk away with a point, 1 each. And then whoever wins the 5th set gets 1 extra point. So 2-1 to whichever team wins in 5 sets. And with the Super League being so competitive this year, Hassan, on both sides, 8 teams, 4 making Final 4, 3 with relegation issues, 1 automatically, 2 into a playoff. Every point is crucial. So winning 3-0 or 3-1 is so crucial this season.
Especially with how little teams there are this year as well. The Super League has been shrinking for the last 3 years. I think we started off with how many teams? Like 15? Or 12, something like that?
That's beyond my history, but it's definitely 10-8. But Durham win a big one at the timeout. And here comes a double change. And this is the advantage of this Durham squad, the depth. Because in set number 1, the double sub involved Elena Bonema. Slight problem. She's not eligible as a sub because she was down as starting this set when Durham made the wrong number error, as we're going to call it, writing 19, not 18 on the lineup card. However, they have a third setter in 6'2" Maura Hayes, who can now come on and play Oppo as well, but she's in the back row to set, as she did against Dark Star Derbyshire in that reverse sweep on opening day. Comes with an ace, and the other person off the bench in that double sub, Raylene Jones, comes with a monster shutdown.
Huge block on that one. And it's just very frustrating for the Rebels, especially since it was a one-man block. And once you get caught in that, it just really brings your energy down. New libero on court, Danai Karawali, coming in for Tia Shamblin.
And that one tipped long, no touch on it. And the Durham lead, went with that little 5-point run running Rebels, and back to what they would seem as normal service as Hayes finds the net.
Now just all down to Spitz to just keep that service on their side. Just keep up the pressure and just try and close that gap as much as possible before it gets too late.
It may be too late for set 2, but you want to get some momentum going if you can, as Jones finds the block touch. High ball, so Borrett has to wait on it. Hayes back set, and Alyssa Ruffin gets touch. I think Savannah Spitzer got a hand on it in position 5 in the back left. The commentator said he saw it out. Well, it was out, but the problem was it was touched by a Rebels player.
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect pass, and again, Rebels going quick middle, and Alex Hillary wanting someone to take the warm-up top off.
Anastasia, I've forgotten the surname.
Jovicic.
What?
Let me double check my notes. I'm going off memory.
Oh, Jovcic, yeah.
Jovcic,
Anastasia Jovcic coming in for McKenna Smith, I think, is it? Oh no, sorry, coming in for Tara King on the serve.
Probably a serving sub. We'll
Yes.
see if it's 1 point or it's a lineup change and maybe a little bit of rest for Tara King ahead of set 3. As Decker finds the cross-court angle. Are Rebels going to reverse the sub? No, they're not. They're going to probably play, they'll probably play as a bit more of a DS.
Yeah.
I know she can hit a little bit as well, but in fact, yeah, she's going to play pure oppo is Anastasia. Her first Super League appearance, I believe, of the season, as back set, slide, dug up, but unfortunately dug out of bounds.
These couple of points are going to be very crucial for the Essex Rebels, just trying to gain their momentum back. Although they most likely are not going to get this set back, but it's just very important to gain all the energy, all the momentum back going into the third and final set.
Well, hopefully not final if you're an Essex Rebels fan.
Yeah.
We know some of the parents are in the chat as well. Great to see the Savannah Spitzer's family in the chat as they were last week while we were anxiously waiting for a stream to return. But Durham again trying to find a long rally, but
huge block.
And McKenna Smith are going to be called for a net violation, and Sam, we need to see that on replay.
Oh, there might, wait.
I think there is a tiny net touch here on the back end of this block. Yes!
Oh, just barely, just slightly. I'm very tempted to boo the people, to boo, but I'm obviously not allowed to do that, so I'm just going to stay silent over here.
Well, also, if you upset the referees, they're about to have you in an hour and a half's time.
Yep, so I can't really say anything about that.
And
yeah, great job, refs.
I wonder if the announcer is going to maybe get a warning.
I don't think you can kick an announcer out.
Yeah, you can definitely can warn him as a referee. As
really?
AJ jumps on the mic and says, I might get a warning.
Oh, is he getting a card?
Or is there going to be a warning for Alex Chinnery trying to get the crowd to boo loud? I don't know. There
just might be a lot of warnings today.
Well, I wouldn't put it past Alex Chinnery to be the first person to get red carded on Super League Live. I'll say that much. Walking boot or not.
Oh god. Well, I would like to keep my scholarship, so I'm just going to, not comment on that one.
Good answer.
Yep.
As Durham reversed the sub. As that one goes long, and I think the Rebels think that's a crowd point.
I would say that is a crowd point, just huge energy coming in from the crowd right now, and I can only assume it's very helpful for the Essex Rebels, just pushing them further and further.
Yeah, it's still a 10-point gap though. As the former Durham player, Hayley Williman, finds the back line.
Those little serves are the hardest for the passing unit, because for one point you're kind of on the back line. From the other point, you don't know if it's out or in, and you're just kind of very confused.
As Ruffin with the overpass, buried by Spitz. And Paul Wells checking how many timeouts he's got. Indeed, it is just one, so he's going to let this go another point or two. As another deep serve, Giambi plays it well. Out to Thomas on the left side.
And a great dig.
And the Rebels keep the rally alive. Advantage Durham still, but Thomas is
What
denied.
a point! That is a huge point for the Rebels. And as we predicted, a timeout is coming in. You really need a timeout on that one. Just a great point from that pickup from Haley into that block from McKenna Smith. Just amazing job from the Rebels here. Just keeping their cool and just slowly closing that gap.
Probably still too much, but momentum has flipped. If you lose that set in single digits, it's a completely different mindset as a player.
Absolutely, yes. You kind of shut down after losing a second set that badly, but right now the Rebels are coming in very strong and they're just showing that they're still in the fight.
As we have our first result in the Super League of the weekend in the Dynamic Men's Super League. MAAREE Eagles 3-0 victory against Leeds Gorse. Both these teams will play tomorrow as well. MAAREE winning 25-21, 25-18, 25-22. We'll bring you some other scores as they go from around the Super League. As out of the timeout, no coach's point. In fact, it's an overpass. And Savannah Spitzer buries that one. Back-to-back overpasses given up by Durham.
And just a great job from the service line there, just keeping up that pressure.
And service reception change. Thomas, I think, going to step into the pass. Ruffin back in the what you call more natural hiding spot in the defence. As Decker. I think Dupre got a touch on it. She'll get lined up, get blocked. Big pickup. But Borek can't get there for the second touch. I think that came off the head of McKenna Smith.
I think so as well, to be honest. Just went really high up.
Borek targeted on the serve receive. Dupre.
Very unfortunate.
On the line, no touch, and set points Durham.
Durham seems to be just blocking the cross court on Elena Dupre, just kind of funneling her towards the line, and it seems like it's working right now for them because she hasn't really made that much of an impact on the line attacks.
Decker goes into the net, and with Anastasia coming into the front row. Alex Chinnery going back to Tara King. Bigger blocker at the net, and really you need all the defence and the blocking you can have now because you've got to find a way. 7 in a row. What can the Rebels captain McKenna Smith cook up? 3 aces on the season coming into today. Forces an overpass. Dupre kills it off. That's probably going to be the takeaway for Durham. This serve receive unit, they've got away with it because they've had the 10-point lead to play with, but that's the 4th overpass in the last 8 or 9 points or so.
Absolutely. The coach is going to be really needing to having a chat with the passing unit after the set. They cannot have this going into the 3rd set, especially if the Rebels keep the same service pressure on.
Smith on the defence. Dupre into the block, and Ellie Schrader gets the set-winning kill off the block. And the Durham Palatinates come into the Essex Sport Arena, a huge crowd, and take a 2-0 lead, 18-25 for the Palatinates. And apart from the serve-receive issues, this has been an almost perfect performance by Durham on the road.
Absolutely, I agree with you there. Just a little trouble on the serve passing, serve receive in the last 8 points. But other than that, it's just been a great game for Durham on the attack.
Yeah, and we'll get some updated stats sent up to us in a minute. Shout out to Josh Holdworth, the Rebel statistician, who's always live statting and giving us a link to help out as the Essex Dance Society jump onto court and keep this crowd entertained here. And if you're Alex Chinnery-Hissani, obviously you know him well as well, so he's been helping out with the men's team while at the start of the season in pre-season. What do you think he's talking with his staff about now? Because they had some momentum at the back end of the set, but this has been a very sporadic up and down performance by his team, which is unusual.
I reckon, knowing Alex, he'd be talking about just the start of that set, what went wrong, and he'd be kind of encouraging his team, considering just how much they came close to kind of closing that gap, and just reminding them we need to go into the third set with this mindset, with this energy, just to get that, to try and get back now, and just encouraging them, essentially.
As I have no idea what the score is, but we've just had a set won by someone in Derby. We're going to watch the last point on replay up here in the commentary booth and find out who's won the set. There is no scoreboard, so we have no idea, but I've just seen a change of ends. We'll bring you that one as the teams are waiting for set 3, and it is won by Team Side Out Bologna. So we know Side Out have a set up in Derby in the Women's MAAREE Super League. We know the MAAREE Eagles women also have taken the opening set against Leeds Gorse down at Ernestone, 25-9 for MAAREE. But our attention are going to come back to the Essex Sport Arena as we get ready for set number 3.
Tensions are high, pressure is on right now. Essex is on the back foot, but also you can just say Durham is currently under pressure as well. They need to close this out as soon as possible, not let the previous set's momentum carry on into this set. So, because if it does, then they're going to be in real trouble, especially with the passing unit.
Well, if anyone knows what a reverse sweep in the Super League is this season, it is Durham. 2 Super League games played, down 2-0 twice, 2 wins. One by the men, one by the women, both on opening weekend. The women did it against Dark Star Derbyshire, the men against Richmond Docklands. So Durham will have their radar up as we have a quick look at the scorers through 2 sets. It is the Durham captain, Alicia Ruffin, leading the way with 10 points personal for Durham, 7 for Elizabeth Schrader, and 6 for Izzy Decker. Elaine Dupre with 9 for the Rebels. Set 3 underway and Durham win the opening point.
First point by Chloe Thomas into that cross court just on the left side of Elena Dupre. Very tough spot, very good spot to hit.
4th kill of the day for Chloe. No errors as well for the Durham Oppo as Leia Inbora into the nets. And Durham trying to start set 3 like they started set 2. Alex Chinnery had that early timeout, 2 points in. Doesn't burn it that quick.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to burn it that quick, really. I mean, the difference between set 2 and set 1 is very major.
But 3-0 might be something he thinks about as Essex go to the middle. And Savannah Spitzer powers it through the block of Schrader. And that will send her back to the service line.
It's down to her right now to just put the pressure onto the Durham passing unit. Seems like the Durham passing unit is pushing one of the outsides out onto the sideline. And it's like almost a two-passing unit.
That's a huge dig by the left hand of Jenna Giombi on the overpass as Tara King block touch. As Thomas finds the block touch. That one just about in or out on the baseline. I'm not quite sure which, but block touch, it doesn't matter.
I had thought that was going out, to be fair, and I did get a bit excited there, but unfortunately there was a touch there. Good hit from the Durham side.
I think set 1 in Derby was 25-23 to Team Side Out. As Essex respond, Borovec had the error a couple of points to go, but this time goes cross court.
Great shot into the corner.
Great dancing on the Rebels bench.
Yep, I mean the benches are very, very big, huge impact. They have a huge impact on the team on court because when there's no energy on the court, it's all down to the bench to kind of keep the energy up and kind of encourage the players on the court right now.
As
Great pass from
Dupree. Gillivan on the slide finds the net tape, but out of system with Stanton having to play the defense. Ruffin, however,
Great
she's had
shot.
a monster game.
Absolutely agree with you there. Every single hit has been just very effective, very impactful on the team. And it wasn't really always just kind of hitting the ball very hard. Sometimes it's a smart little roll shot. And it's just really, really just playing into Durham's game right now.
Smith. Borek pipes the back corner. First time we've really seen one into that deep corner. Find the floor, but a big one for Essex. Couple in a row for Leia, and she'll head back to the service line as that ball off into the Durham bench being returned.
Oh.
And
Slight little...
I think
She
Leia's...
did not hear a whistle.
Yeah, I think she was expecting it. She'd been holding on the ball long enough that she may have missed the whistle. Instead, there was no whistle. So we'll have a little bit of a replay. I don't know if you can replay a point that never technically begun, but we'll go with it. So she goes line. Decker plays it well. It's squared up the body. Shamblin
Great
with the
pick up by
diving
Shamblin.
save. It's going to be a free ball once again for the Palatinates. Thomas steps out the way, slide attack. Hightower jumps early and puts it the wrong side of the antenna. Just a little bit of mistiming.
Leia right now just doing great, just keeping a consistent serve, especially after the couple errors she made on the hits. She was also going after that corner, just going back to the basics. No need to do too much. An unfortunate touch from the block for Essex Rebels. It kind of drops right behind and the defenders aren't just able to get there. It's now Alyssa Ruffin on the serve for Durham.
And she'll go line, targeting Dupree, but perfect pass, back set, and the slide once again for Gillivan. Perfectly run by the Rebels. Kath Tolley, the middle, loving that one.
I don't think she should be standing up.
I'll let you say that.
No.
Have we got that on camera, anyone? Yeah, oh, perfectly lined up on, there we go, clip it. You're not going to sit down either, knowing Kath.
I will tell the physio.
Oh, what, yourself?
Oh, wait, yeah.
Decker.
A great pickup
by Tara King, but it's another free ball for Durham. As into the block, Decker goes with the tip, and Durham have done a really good job mixing it up. We've seen a few power tips, we've seen a few higher tips as well going over the block, and then obviously the swing. So the versatility of this Durham offense has done a really good job today.
Absolutely, just all goes towards confusing the block, confusing the coaching staff on the Rebels side, just who wouldn't really know what to do in this scenario.
Dupree has to wait on it, and Chloe Thomas with the dig, but into the bottom of the net.
Really good discipline there. She saw that she can't really put all the power behind it, so she chose to just roll it a little bit, make a smart decision, just make it hard on the defense on the other side to pick it up.
So McKenna Smith. As Decker, I think that
did
flips the
find
sideline
yeah.
to perfection on the cross court.
It's a great
change
shot.
in angle.
Now we just need to see if the Essex Rebels are going to change their block, considering every other ball set to the outside has been going to the sideline now.
As Decker gets it back, gets blocked.
Another serve coming in. Good control by Leia, set to Tara and pick up.
Yeah, Ruffin with it again. Target not being able to put a full swing on it from that left side, but Durham just go wide. A couple of errors starting to creep into this attacking unit for Durham. He had just 6 errors to stand in the opening 2 sets, but I think that's the second or third in this set, and that's just keeping the Rebels in
the game
with a shot as Dupre. Back set. Decker into the block, recycle, Tara King going to set it. Borovec tries to go line, Stanton has to get a hand on it, but Thomas steps in.
Great touch by Taya Shamblin.
Yeah, another libero pickup as Thomas tries to find the floor, and this time she does. Delana Dupre rolling to the left. And we'll have a look at that angle again.
Having a little bit of trouble just kind of closing that block. At the moment, all the hits are going just straight into 6 or the 6-5 team. They need to just figure out a way to fix that before it's too late.
As Thomas into the hands of the block, Smith. King, power tip, gets the hand of Ruffin, finds the middle of the floor. And the Essex Rebels hanging around, but need to find some success on this service line. It feels like this is the area they think they've probably got the advantage in, is that trying to really attack this serve receive unit that's had a couple of hiccups for Durham. Can Savannah Spitzer put pressure on? She can, as Ruffin plays a ball that was called out, and she swings into the net off the top of the tape and back on the Durham side. So there's one break point for the Rebels.
I think the Rebels are playing right now, just be as consistent as possible, make the least amount of errors, let them do the errors for you, let them win your points.
Thomas on the cross court, no getting to that by McKenna Smith. That Hassan called it out, the line judge called it in, the referee called it in, and our producer calls it in. So unfortunately,
I might be blind.
Just a miss look. We won't call you blind. If I did that, I don't think your coach would be too impressed.
Oh.
Mainly because he needs your eyesight, and hopefully in about an hour. 1 point down. Can they tie it up? King, Chloe Thomas. Great dig by Tara King, but free ball. Hightower the middle, going to call her libero off for it. Giombi, and Ruffin is blocked by McKenna Smith. She lets everyone know that was her touch.
Huge block there, and as we just said, you really want to be able to set up and close that block, because that will have a major effect on whether you are staying in this game or not. And looks like the Rebels have been able to do that.
So this is where we were in set number 1, 11-11. Will things shift in the balance? Smith, jump set, Dupre from the pipe. Giombi gets a touch. That touch is too much for Izzy Decker to track down, running well beyond the baseline, even in past the basketball court. And Paul Welsh goes to the whiteboard. No timeout yet, but I think he's starting to think about it if the Rebels can win this point.
Yeah, you really kind of want to just cut off the momentum as soon as possible, especially now that they have gotten the lead and taken it away from you.
Thomas, block touch again. Borovec puts an aggressive swing on it, over the shoulder, not the easiest ball. And there indeed is the timeout by Durham. And the Essex Rebels 2 down, 4 in a row. And they have the crowd on their feet once again here at the Essex Sport Arena, trying to force us deep into a 4th set, or maybe even a 5th, as we do have an official record-breaking crowd. We won't reveal the number quite yet because more people are flooding into the arena, but I can confirm that the new attendance record has been broken, just being announced to the crowd now as well here at the Essex Sport Arena.
What a pleasure to be here.
But now there's some pressure on the Rebels. You got people down. Can you reward them? Give them a set. Maybe give them a point or 2. As I see Dave Parry, the Director of Sport, up here.
Well, I sure will try my best.
As we know that number can grow, this being a double-header. The men are up next. Potentially we may have an on-time first serve, but it will be tight. But that would need Durham to close this out. 3-0, and Chloe Thomas wants that to happen. Another sharp angle on the cross court for Chloe Thomas. Finds the kill, and Durham have the point off the timeout, as that is kill number says 4 for Thomas, but I'm not sure that updated in the timeout as the serve goes just over the baseline.
The Rebels are just doing a great job of playing their game and not letting the other side kind of affect or dictate how they play. And it's working out really well for them right now.
As Stanton pushes it out to this left pin. Ruffin can't find the floor. Dupre, neither can she. That's a huge dig by Jenna Diombi. And her captain repays the defence. I think that was the right shoulder by Jenna Diombi.
Just a chicken wing pickup over there.
We'll have a look at that one again on the replay on this swing.
Yep,
Indeed it was, just lifting into it, a great piece of awareness.
It's a great job by the captain putting that ball away.
And she'll definitely be in contention for our game MVP as Borek has to push it over, but finds Stanton out of system. But Giombi bump set is denied for Decker. I think it was Hayley Gillivan with the touch on it. Sent that right back where it came from. As Jenna Giombi nearly made the pickup.
And a huge block from the Rebels there. That is going to be very helpful for them throughout this game, especially with the strong outsides and opposites on the Durham side.
Stanton bump set, Ruffin from the back row. More of a rollover than swing, but that's a swing. Elena Dupre answers. And it's a 3-point lead, and Paul Welsh looking like he's going to go to the bench.
What a
we'll see
great
this one
swing
by
that was.
Elena Dupre, and this is why we talked about it in the pre-game. Lined it up perfectly. And into the game, Isabel Decker, number 10, taking a break. And number 11, Mariana Payne, into the lineup for Paul Welsh as Giombi finds a good pass on that for the amount of movement as Dupre tries to go back-to-back, and she does this time. The block touch by Niara Hightower.
I think Durham really need to kind of focus up on that block, setting it up, just trying to stop her. But she is also just a hitter that has a lot of options. She's got that very sharp cross, and she's also able to just use that block and go off of it.
Can Durham respond in set number 1? They found themselves 4-5 down twice and got themselves back in, but it's a 3-ball Rebels as Spitz lines it into the block. But it's a block out and a double sub coming for Durham. Chloe Thomas taking a break. And it'll be the same double sub we saw in set number 1. So into the game, wearing number 8, Raylene Jones, along with number 19, Elena Bullimer for Durham.
I think right now what Durham's looking to do is just kind of change the momentum a little bit, try and gain it back, or just kind of resting their starting lineup to get ready for the 4th set.
As that's an ace serve by Hayley. Alex Chinnery celebrating. I'm not sure he's meant to be moving that much in the boot, but it doesn't matter. His side have found momentum. Hayley Gillivan yet again doing pressure and damage from the service line. And the Rebels fans start to believe.
It's a great set overall from the Essex Rebels here. They really just showing the fans and everyone that they are going after that win no matter what, and that they have not lost hope even though they are 2 sets down right now. Over on the Durham side though, they're clearly just getting under more and more pressure, and we're just going to see what the coach has done now to try and bring it back in terms of the focus and the energy to maybe somehow close this set out and win the game 3-0. Now Hayley Gilfillan back on the serve.
Big moment here for Durham. Can they get a good side out of the timeout? They do. Perfectly executed. Mariana Payne on the swing. And that will move Niara Hightower back to the service line and bring in Ellie Schrader, who did a lot of damage in set number 2 for the Palatinates. As Essex run a double middle. I think that's something they've been working on straight off the training practice court. We'll have a look at that one again.
Great shot.
A delayed middle with Spit and ran Elena Dupre through the middle, and not a lot you can do about that from a blocking perspective. Perfectly executed. Big moment to call it, but well drawn up, well executed by the Rebels.
Absolutely.
As the bench get a warning once again.
Oh, absolutely props to them for running that so late into the game and under so much pressure in this situation.
The Durham bench being told to take one step back because they hadn't quite passed the end of the baseline. Ruffin, perfect pass. And down the line, I think it catches the shoulder of Taya Shamblin, but it's a beautiful ball placement by Raylene Jones there to go right down the line and tie up Shamblin. And Durham will reverse that sub to keep the Malaya Stanton in the back row.
Absolutely, right now you really want to focus on keeping, as we said in the first set, to keep as many attackers in the front row as possible, and also just kind of focus on that block.
Smith runs the middle as Savannah pushes it wide. Couple in a row for Durham. And we've seen in set number one, this team has a lot of fight. We saw it in opening weekend as well. Back to the wall, 2-0 down. And I think the set 3 was tied as well midway through the set. As a short serve, Dupre and Smith able to rescue it, but advantage Durham. Schrader touched over. I think that's a little punch set almost. And scrappy rally as bump set for Dupre, and she goes into the block, finds the winner. And Elena Dupre starting to heat up.
I think it's right now that the Rebels really need to focus on not repeating the same mistake they did in set 1, which was they took a little bit off the gas and allowed Durham to just come back straight into the game. And Durham right now really just need to gain the momentum to try and close this gap.
Both teams serving well. Just, I think 8 errors combined between the two teams. As a ace by Dupre takes it, some pace off it, lands about the 4-meter line, right on the sideline. And that's a huge ace for the Rebels.
Just a great job from the service line there, targeting the front court outside. The captain, who hasn't really been passing the greatest. She had about 3, I think, overpasses in the second set.
This time, Ellie Schrader, the middle, takes it early. Thomas can't find the floor. Borovec does on the tip. Schrader and Stanton left each it for each other. And it looks like there's a good chance we are going to 4 here at the Essex Sport Arena. It's a 7-point lead for the Rebels. As Stanton from the sideline, bump set, Dupre on the dig, but sends it over on touch number 1. As Thomas is denied by Tara King. And indeed, we are all abound for set number 4. Tara King's had a quiet day by her season standards, but finds that one.
She did have a quiet day, but she's been very consistent as well and very disciplined, not doing too much, just doing what she has to do.
Second block, but Dupre a little bit too eager by Elena Dupre, trying to win it on one swing, sends that one halfway to Colchester. But it's 7 more set points for the Rebels. Smith, Tara King, this time going through the middle. Kind of a reverse of what we've just seen, and layup. Borek with the tip finds the kill, and the Essex Rebels find set number 3, 25-17, and the crowd are all over it.
Absolutely, and it's a great set for the Rebels right now. Just coming back from the 2-0 down loss with the momentum. And let's just see what's going to happen now in the 4th set if Durham is able to kind of regain that momentum, keep that focus and just close it out, or if the Rebels are going to go to 5 sets.
Indeed. And momentum's such a funny thing in volleyball, Sam. You're way more experienced at it than me, but all it needs is 2 or 3 points to swing. So how important is the opening 5 or 6 points for Durham now coming out the timeout? Because if that goes 4-2, 5-1 Essex, this whole arena plus set 3 is probably going to make this battlefield really tall to get into a set where you can slow the crowd down and get a small lead. That will just settle things down and find that continuity.
Absolutely agree with you there. It's momentum in volleyball in general is just a very, very major factor in how a game can go. When you're when you're winning a set, and then you just all of a sudden losing 5, 6, 7 points, it ends up really being difficult to come back from that, as you're just your energy is kind of depleting slowly. And in this game specifically, we could see that with the Rebels in the second set and Durham in the third set. Rebels in the second set just completely lost the momentum they had from the first set, and in the third set Durham just completely lost it from the second set as well, and you could just see how much that affected them.
Well, the other thing for Durham we haven't talked about yet, they play tomorrow. They head down to Ernest Bevin and they will meet the MAAREE Eagles, so you can get this done in 4 as the Essex players, I wish we had that on camera, are forming a dance party underneath the Super League Live banner over there. So that's one we haven't quite seen before cooked up. But yeah, if you can get this done in 4, you get 3 points, which is always a bonus, rather than potentially walking away with as little as 1. But you can maybe just save your legs just a little bit for tomorrow, because going to Ernest Bevin is not an easy task.
Absolutely not, no. And also just talking mentally as well, if you are not able to close this out as soon as possible, you can have a little bit of a mental block essentially for tomorrow, where you're like, you can't really get into it anymore, the momentum isn't there. So if Durham is unable to do or finish it as soon as possible, it could affect their game tomorrow as well.
As we know, the MAAREE Eagles, talking of MAAREE, are up at the moment. They are looking like they're going to close in on a 3-0 victory over Leeds Gorse. The young Leeds Gorse team, MAAREE winning the first set 25-9, second 25-11, and 15-9 up in the third, with the men having already done damage as... have we had another error? What are the coaches doing today?
Oh, good.
Leela Whitaker ends up starting the set instead of Leia Borowek.
That's funny.
Are we just giving away charity? Like, Paul Welsh did it, so Alex Genuine goes, you know what, I like you so much, I'll return the favour. That's 1 sub down for the Rebels, but that would probably be the natural change you would think anyway, with Leela being an outside, that she'd come on for one of Elena Dupre or Leia, so potentially that could be a reversal of the sub, as that one off the net tape, and unfortunately takes it long on the slide for Savannah Spitzer, and Durham have point number 1 of set number 4. As I try and read the scoreboard in Derby, but all I know is it's another tight set. McKenna Smith catches the bottom of the net.
They
called it over
reach,
the net.
Yeah, that was a bit of a reach there. Currently Essex Rebels are 2 down. Passing isn't really looking too good.
Yeah, it feels like both teams have probably had inconsistent moments for teams and their own standards, as Tara King block touch by Decker. She'll get it back, goes with the little cross-court tip. Essex trying to run the middle, and Chloe Thomas reaches over and puts it down vertically on the block. On a block that is more than legal.
Right now the Rebels are looking like they're slowly losing that momentum, slowly losing that focus from the third set.
And that's exactly what we talked about. This is what Durham needed. Durham have gone with a setting change. We'll talk about that in a second as well. I just spotted that one. As Borek is absolutely winning the point. Well, she was blocked.
I
she
think
was
it
just
went
blocked
down
onto the wrong side of the net.
Exactly, yeah.
Still a block, just not one that wins a point.
Technically it is.
Such a hard job to tell which side of the net tape that comes down when it comes down just directly over.
Yes.
But not quite enough of a press by Durham. And it's the first point of the set, as that's a great set. Giombi gets a touch to it, but Durham going with a setting change. So Elena Bullimer starting instead of Malaya Stanton in set number 4.
Could be that the coach wasn't really happy with how the setting was going in the first 3 sets, just wanting to go for a change.
As Decker denied, but recycle ball. Good bump set by Bullimer, but Chloe Thomas is denied. I think it was Haley with the block. Indeed it was, looking at the reaction.
It's a great block.
Great
block. Just a great job blocking from the Essex Rebels here. You can really just see how much that can affect the mentality on both sides.
As former Rebel Alexis Diaz-Infante goes into the net, and Dark Star Derbyshire wins set 2 up in the Midlands as Chloe Thomas goes tight on the angle, and Claire Borek going out to cover, stepping off the net, and sadly the ball going where you were stood about 1 second earlier.
Even half a second earlier, I'd say. She was kind of just, as she was stepping out, the ball just went right to her left side, and it's just really hard to kind of stop your momentum there and set up properly to dig that.
King goes with the tip. Schrader does well to not put that into the net. Bit of a low set as Borek finds the net.
It was a great dig from Taya Shamblin there, just kind of really hitting that floor just to pick that up a little bit. Very close game right now, both sides just not letting up at all.
Dupre, she settled down after that quick breather she took in set number 2 as Ruffin, block touch, recycle coming, but McKenna Smith with a tight set, and Leia not wanting to use the left hand, goes with the right and turns into all sorts of awkwardness. She collides with the net, the umpire's chair, and about everything else. Luckily no damage done, apart from a point for the team in purple, as that one misses the service line, but that did not miss by much.
Yeah, but just barely. I would think that was in, but
it's one of those, without Hawkeye replay, it's so hard for the line judges to know either way. As King tries to take some off it, but Ruffin goes and gets it back off the serve receive. She goes down the line, and this is where Durham have found things. You can tell the Rebels block is a little bit more cross-court heavy. Absolutely, and they found the right time to exploit that by going down the line.
And you can just tell from the speed of the sets that are coming from the Durham side, it's really hard for the block to kind of run out and get a proper block kind of set up there. So it just kind of gives the hitters free hands to use, essentially.
That one, no doubt about it, over the baseline. And Essex have done a really good job from the service line today. Just 3 errors on the day. Another one in play for the Rebels as Shamblin readjusts to make the dig. Dupre lines up on Thomas, finds the way to squeeze the ball past the opposite for Durham. And a big one again for Elena Dupre. She's up to 12 kills on the day.
The score right now is 6-7 to the Essex Rebels.
Oh, someone was going to make that at some point. It wasn't going to be me. As Ruffin goes from midway into the backcourt, misses the baseline.
Just barely over the line there. And you can just see the Durham are kind of just losing the momentum right now, losing the energy. And it's really coming into advantage for the Essex Rebels as they are just pushing through right now. And an overpass from the Durham side. out to Elena, and she's using that block. Another point for the Rebels. And a timeout called by the Durham coach.
As 3 in a row for Essex, and crowd are once again back into it. As we said earlier, for those of you maybe just joining us, record-breaking crowd here at the Essex Sport Arena for our first Super League Live of the season. But in a couple of weeks, we're going to be ditching Super League Live indoors, and we are going to be heading to the beach, the indoor beach at Crystal Palace. King and Queen of the Court. Tickets available still for what is going to be a very entertaining weekend. Friday Night Lights, new definition, bringing the sand indoors, and an international tournament off the back of the FIVB Beach World Championships that started a couple of days ago down in Australia. So make sure you head to Volleyball England so you know where to pick up your tickets, and join us in Crystal Palace, where our next Super League Live will be as well in December. As we are at the timeout, and Chloe Thomas just misses the end line. Feels like the court's just shrunk by about 50 centimetres, because if it was extended, Durham would have won about 4 of the last 7 points.
Absolutely, every single ball going out of the back right now is just slightly over the line there, and it's just really having an impact on the Durham side. Great dig by Alea.
Big dig,
And a
Dupre roll shot, but well read by Bullimer, the setter, to get a hand to it. A tip, and Tara King and Taya Shamlin go for the same ball. King gets there, but can't quite control the touch. And a very, very early double sub. 9-8, and Paul Welsh going to the bench. Malaya Stanton and Raylene Jones into the game for Durham.
Let's see if Rebels can now just gain the serve back and just side out. And a great pass from Taya Shamblin, set to Elena.
She has to go tip. That one, I think, was going to land right on
yeah.
the sideline. Ruffin lines it up and makes a mistake, but not by a lot. That one was hit with venom, but couldn't quite pull it down in time.
Might have to check the court, because it actually might have shrunk. And now it's Hayley Gilfillan on the serve.
And I think that's the big thing. It's if you're going to make misses, if you're going to have misses, this is the miss to have. It's the ones that are tight, because the defense is constantly thinking about playing the ball and having to make those decisions. As Hightower, who's had a quiet day, can't find that one. Third opportunity, Decker from the pipe.
And it's slight overpass and a block.
That is back and forth, but Essex can't kill it off. And another tip. Both teams just little tip party. Not quite the Boston.
And a block by the Essex Rebels.
I was going to go with Boston Tea Party, and it was a tip party, but I didn't quite get that off in time.
I normally just say tennis, really.
I was going to make a reference. That would have come out well, but I got to be quicker. But another big one for the Rebels. 11-8 the lead, so they're 3 points down, and they've had arguably their best server of the day on the line.
A great serves, putting them out of system there.
As Raylene Jones gets blocked, but blocked well out of court. As McKenna Smith looking for her 4th of the day. As the team, the Durham Palatinates, will play tomorrow, and the MAAREE Eagles are done with their game, 3-0 over Leeds Gorse. So they'll be off their feet and getting ready for that game tomorrow lunchtime, as Essex go back to the trusty slide attack with Savannah Spitzer, and she connects on the cross court.
You really can't go wrong with a slide. This has worked really well for them this game, and I mean, if it's not being stopped, then why should you stop doing it?
So 12-9 the Rebels lead. Decker has to wait for it from the back row, but that one finally finds the right side of the line if you're in purple. Izzy Decker, not the easiest ball to attack, but she had the confidence to do so. The Davidson grad, and she makes no mistake.
It's a great discipline from her right now, just kind of taking a little bit off the ball there and just aiming for the spot instead of aiming to get a kill right now.
As Durham return the point with a 3-1 into net on the serve. As they error count slowly creeps up, but still both teams have done a really good job today getting ball in play. As Dupre catches the net tape, Schrader has to play it. Decker finds a swing, and that's a great adjustment. As Durham again reversing that double sub, and it's going to be interesting what they do late in the set here, Hassan, because they've gone really early with this double sub.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. It's just like maybe the coach is trying to confuse the Essex Rebels as much as possible, just kind of change it up so they don't get used to it and they don't adapt.
So it'll be Elena Bullimer back to serve. McKenna Smith, lovely set. Borvik goes tight line. Ooh. Thomas and Ruffin take each other and the advertising board out. Immediately both hop to their feet. And good job by the crowd as well, making sure they're okay. And a big one for...
It's always scary going to collision like that, especially for the people watching.
Them both to pop up and be good. As that one is left, but is half a metre inside the court. And the Essex middles, no middle serving jokes in this game. They've done a really good job. As Savannah Spitzer hits up her first ace of the day and follows it up with a commentator's curse error. But 1 for 1, you'll always take that trade-off.
Especially considering the pressure she's been applying the entire game. It's been really good from the service line for both middles. Oh, and Liner gets a hit in the face.
Never ideal.
Yeah, you do not want that on a serve receive.
As Decker back on the service line. Dupre off a knee. Tara King blocked. McKenna Smith gets a touch, and Elena Dupre goes for a dive for the sake of
diving.
For the sake of cleaning the rest of the floor out of the court. That's what we'll go with.
Yep, we'll go for that.
1 for the crowd. Can Durham tie us up at 15 apiece? They desperately want to try and pick up 3 huge points here if the Palatinates can close it out.
Oh,
as Tara King
shot
down the line. Giombi gets her shoulder to it, but can't control it this time as Tara King responds with a big one.
That was the first really strong swing of the day, and what effect it has had right now. Tara King back at the serve.
As back set for Thomas. Dupre with the dig, but over on 1. Ruffin, power tip. Dupre again covering. McKenna Smith keeps it alive, but it's another 3 ball for Durham. Bullimer, Ruffin, and they're going to call a net touch on one of the 2 Rebels blockers.
Very close set, this one. It's going to be much harder for either team to be able to gain a big lead right now.
As
and
Essex go line, get the little touch.
Seems like the Durham side is not happy about that.
Well, there's also not many arguments. There's a hand on a head, but there's not many arguments, and that's normally a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah.
As Ruffin into the block of McKenna Smith, another one for the Rebels captain. Captain on captain crime.
Huge block over there. And great job from the Essex Rebels serving, just really targeting the 2 outsides, avoiding that libero as much as possible. Just kind of put them out of system a little bit.
As Hightower was the decoy. Layer with the dig, little touch for Dupre. It's a 4-point lead. I think Paul Welsh is thinking about it. He's going to the whiteboard. We know what that means. We're 1 point away from a timeout. Can the Rebels force it, or can Durham find a way to get back into this set? Decker.
It's a great service pressure there.
Bullimer Ruffin, who's been quiet as the game progresses, can't find that one. Dupre, big pickup. Jenna Giombi, and Ruffin returns the dig with the kill. Goes off the left hand of the block, and a big one by Ruffin to stay with it. She's really found the Essex adjustment on the blocks really caused a couple of issues, and it's going to be Alex Chinnery with the timeout. 19-16 the lead for Essex.
It's a great timeout from Alex there. You could say it's just there to kind of cut it off straight away and put off the server, so they don't really have the confidence to go for the full serve right from the get-go. Let's see if it does end up in a coach's point.
As Essex now have 3 players into double-digit points on the day. Blair Borwick narrowly missing out. She's currently sitting on 9, and 3 each for Durham, with Elizabeth Schrader in the middle also on 8 points. So, but both teams done a really good job balancing out the attack today. We know a lot of time where the ball is going, really Dupre and Ruffin, but the setters have done a really good job just mixing up it and just keeping enough off rhythm. They can't really focus in on 1 or 2 hitters. As Rebels don't go middle, but what they do is not quite connect and not quite into the hitting arc of Elena Dupre. She pulls down on it into the net.
So it was a little bit of a low set, so there's not much there you can do.
Rare error by McKenna Smith. As that one block touch, Shamblin plays it, nearly miscommunication. That's a great over. Gillifan, that's recycled by Bullimer. Everyone's doing jobs that not in their position. As Shamblin with a ridiculous pickup, but that misses the line by an inch. But we had setters, we had middle setting, we had setters putting it over. That was tremendous volleyball.
Yeah, Essex Rebels calling for a touch there, but they don't seem to be fighting it. Right now it's very close. They need to refocus, get that plus side out before it's too late.
That'll be one where you look back on as that one rolls off the net tape and onto the line. And that's a Durham point. Alex Chinnery pointing at the line judge, but the line judge is about 2 meters away off the line.
I don't think he stood in the right spot there.
Yeah, he's a little bit far back to see the angle, and the referee was right on top of it. And from being close to timeout, the Durham Palatinates have come up with 4 in a row to tie us up. They cannot make it 5 as Ruffin goes long on the line, and it's a big one for the Rebels as Durham try and close this out.
Durham really need to kind of get into the 20s as well right about now. You don't want to let them get a lead, and right now it's going to be very difficult with Haley on the serve, one of the best servers on the team today.
Yeah, this is a big side out for Durham if you can get it. Bullimer scrambling, gets there. Ruffin has to go angle, but Dupre makes a mistake. 3 ball effectively for Durham. Ruffin finds Haley on the defense. Borovec's going to get aggressive from the pipe. Like Bullimer, first time we've seen the setter go, and what a read into the middle of the court. That's a great job by Elena Bullimer.
Just what a decision this late into the set and under so much pressure to go for that play. Just really props to the setter over there. It's a very, very smart decision, because I'm pretty sure I did not expect it, and neither did the players.
Borovec has to scramble to a left. Dupre goes line, dug up by Thomas. Miscommunication for the Rebels. And Chloe Thomas didn't know a lot about it, but the effort for the dig was there, and Alex Chinnery going to use the second timeout as the Palatinates move 4 points away from victory.
Very, very difficult point there for the Rebels. I mean, just that miscommunication and giving up the lead there can be really detrimental for the game right now, and it just might be a very big impact on their momentum right now. But let's see if they are able to regain that focus coming back into the game after the timeout.
And Alex Chinnery used both his timeouts, so he's got nothing else he can do from the side outside of go to the bench. Remember, Leela Whitaker is only an option to replace Leia Borek because the right number went on the sheet to start the set. Smith, back set, slide for Savannah Spitzer. Isabel Decker gets a hand to it. Hightower goes over on 2. Smith, Dupre, big block by Giombi, but that goes onto the line. Jenna Giombi with a huge pickup, and I don't think there's a lot Tara King can do about that. The Durham men love it, and we'll have a look at this again, Hassan. This is a beautifully placed ball for Dupre, a great swing, and yeah, Tara King's never getting to that, nothing you can do.
It's just those very unfortunate points there that you really can't do much there.
Dupre misses, but gets a touch off the block.
So
Chloe Thomas shaking her head. She doesn't agree. Hold on.
Oh. Is the ref going to change the decision?
No, he's not. So a huge moment. Mark that one down if this changes. 21-22.
Let's see if the Rebels can play with that now and try and flip this around.
Giombi, perfect pass though. Decker, no mistake. Great response.
Great shot.
Isabel Decker on the cross court.
2 points off of a game, 1 point from a game point over there. And Rebels really need to step up a little bit in order to stay in this game. And the missed serve from the Durham side, that's going to be very effective.
As Elena Dupre on the service line. She's got 3 aces in the first 2 games. Can't find one here. Can Durham execute? Decker 2 meters off. And she goes line. McKenna Smith can't dig it. And Durham have 2 match points. As Elena Bullimer, the setter, goes back to the line.
It's now down to the Rebels to try and just fight it back as much as possible. They need to really focus on the serve receive here.
Dupre gets aced, and the Durham Palatinates win in the Essex Sport Arena in 3.
Are we calling this commentator's curse? I just called it.
Sets to 1, and the Durham Palatinates pick up a huge win on the road. Hassan, I know you've got to go get ready, but quickly,
I do.
Just what a performance from Durham to come in and contain the crowd, and from early on they had some struggles. They were 4 down, but this team showed grit and fight, and it's a big win for them.
Absolutely, especially from the first set going to just come back from that very bad lead that the Essex Rebels had to winning the set, onto winning the second set, and then even the third set over there, they had a really, really rough game, but to be able to come back from that and then win the 4th set is just amazing. Great job from the Durham there.
And obviously for Essex, before I let you go, Sam, obviously disappointing day, but the fight of this team, that's going to go a long way to what happens later in the season.
Absolutely agree with you there. Team fought really hard, trying to get back into the momentum of the game, trying to just go into a 5er, but unfortunately they just couldn't really do it.
Right, Hassan, I'll carry on. I'm going to let you go and get ready for your game, because I know you're going to want to reverse that result right now. Best of luck, and I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, and yeah, see you later.
There's the thoughts of Hassan. He's going to go get ready. The men's game will be a slightly delayed start. We would imagine probably about 4:30, but stay with us. We'll bring you some reaction here from the Essex Sport Arena. We'll bring our game MVP up as well. But in the meantime, we'll have a quick look at some of the stats in this game. And we'll start with the Rebels, as ended up being Elena Dupre taking 44 swings in the end, 17 kills for the Essex Rebels player, 19 points. McKenna Smith, 4 blocks on the day as well from the setting position. And both middles for Rebels coming up big as well. Hayley Gavil, 3 aces 3 blocks, 4 kills. And Savannah Spitzer came up with 9 kills, 2 blocks as well for the Rebels. As we are about to bring up our game MVP to the commentary booth and get their reaction as we just get set here at the Essex Sport Arena. As we are now joined by our Durham captain and game MVP, Alyssa. Alyssa, intimidating environment, but how much fun was that to play today?
You know, we haven't been challenged so much in Bucks. Still fresh in the season, but you know, I feel like it's always a good game when you're playing in an environment that doesn't really like your team. I think it just makes you want to play even better.
And just talk about that, obviously, opening weekend was a little bit up and down. I was talking with Paul, the head coach in the week. He said you were a little bit disappointed with how you played. You've had some time to think about it, get some Bucks games in the system, and you came out really strong for the team in the opening couple of sets, which was huge, just to get your team rolling.
Yeah, you know, I think serve receive could work, use a little bit more work, but you know, when you've got good teammates to back you up, I wasn't worried at all.
And just talk about how proud you are of the team today, because there was moments where that game was creeping away. Set 3 obviously didn't go away, but even in set 1 and set 4, you gave yourselves a gap to try and chase, and you were able to really close down the end of sets and close out really strongly.
Yeah, like I just said, when you have teammates that you know you don't have all that pressure on yourself, you have them to back you up. No pressure at all. I think you just got to work through those tough moments and know you can get out of it.
And obviously, pleased to get it done in 4 means 3 points, but you've also now got to rest. What's the mentality of this team going into tomorrow, knowing you've got another top team in MAAREE to play?
You know, just starting strong and finishing strong. That's it, really.
Well, I appreciate your time and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We'll take a quick break here from the Essex Sport Arena, and we'll be back in about 20 minutes as the Durham men try and copy the women and win at the Essex Sport Arena.